Welcome to the world of ULDs. There are currently 800,000 ULDs in existence globally, with a replacement value of almost $1 billion. Can you imagine air cargo without ULDs? So many industries couldn't survive without them.
Each year, air cargo transports $6.8 trillion worth of goods. This represents about 35% of international trade. Now, ULDs play an incredibly important part about the safe and efficient transportation of those commodities. Many containers today go off airport into shipper and freight forwarder premises, where they're actually built up and then delivered to the carrier for direct loading onto the aircraft. Now, we should never forget that ULDs are actually a safety component of that aircraft and therefore are subject to all FAA and other regulatory safety guidelines. Many airlines today outsource the asset management to third parties, which is why the industry got together and asked IATA if we could actually produce the ULD regulations. The regulations then stipulate how ULDs are best cared for, managed, loaded and restrained on the aircraft.
ULDs are safety-critical aircraft components, and they're the unsung heroes of our business. But did you also know ULDs are being mishandled, damaged, improperly loaded, improperly built up and restrained? Why should you be concerned about this? For starters, safety. Following this accident, the NTSB issued its report, blaming the misloading of the aircraft and the lack of proper cargo restraint. And then, to prevent this type of accident from occurring again, the FAA issued its response to the report. This gives everyone in our industry cause for reflection, from the top down, from the ground up. Let's not wait until bad stuff happens. Let's be proactive in driving for safety and efficiency. There is also the matter of cost. Total airline cost of repairing damaged ULDs is estimated at an astounding $300 million per year. ULD damage rarely occurs on board the aircraft and is most of the time the result of substandard ground operations.
Other than the initial buy and repair costs of ULDs, there are many hidden costs that can affect your bottom line. For example, the repositioning of empty ULDs in containers will result in significant fuel burn. The mismanagement of ULDs when transferring to customers or other airlines can also lead to inventory shortages. Non-compliance to standard operating procedures can lead to aircraft damage, ULD damage, and more importantly, to delays to our passengers and to our cargo customers. From a passenger perspective, we must consider repositioning, hotel costs, meal costs. From a cargo perspective, we're looking at misconnections and customer dissatisfaction. At the end of the day, the management and care of ULD is critical to our business.
These costs are absorbed by the airlines. The big question is, why is this happening? Let's take a look at the operating environment. Today's airline and air cargo operations rely enormously on subcontractors and agents for many of their non-flying activities. ULDs spend much of their time in the hands of organizations that have little or no contact with the flying side of the business.
Many airlines now outsource their handling to independent ground handlers. So the role that we have is crucial, making sure we look after the airline's equipment, the aircraft equipment, the safety implications. It's absolutely vital. Our role is hugely important. Well, we invest in equipment, we invest in training, we invest in our people, of course, and we make sure that we train our people how to do things correctly and safely. ULDs are not cheap. We handle tens of thousands a day. We handle 140 of the world's airlines here in Dubai. We don't do our bit and we're going to have delays to aircraft and we're going to have problems. We take the subject very seriously indeed, as should the whole industry.
ULD operations are a 24/7 global activity, yet operating standards vary enormously, ranging from excellent to non-existent. Because airlines are regulated by the civil aviation organizations, while ground service providers, forwarders, and other parties have no such regulatory requirements. An airline's ULDs are often put in the hands of parties selected for commercial rather than quality reasons. Parties that are unaware of the safety issues or the far-reaching cost of mishandled ULDs. Not until, that is, there are not enough ULDs available to load baggage and cargo, which may delay operations. Training and qualifications are the basis for safety in aviation.
Proper loading of ULDs is important from a safety perspective, not only in terms of aircraft safety, but also in terms of the safety of our employees.
Yet ULD operations are often carried out by untrained and unqualified staff. Yes, training costs money, but the costs of ignoring the need for training are far, far higher. All too often, ULD operations evolve based on local knowledge, and, too often, ULD operations are determined by local crews doing what works best for them, rather than following well-established practices and procedures. No wonder there is a widespread lack of understanding that a ULD is a regulated aircraft part and that improper buildup and handling will result in ULD non-airworthiness. The lack of industry responsibility for ULDs must change. We need to come together as an industry to change the non-compliance culture of ULD management across logistics handling. The process of building up and delivering an airworthy ULD to an aircraft involves many steps and many people. One broken link in the application of procedures can have a direct impact on the safety and airworthiness of the ULD. We need more vigilance now, so we can avoid the unthinkable.
Here we are, standing in front of the Cathay Pacific Cargo Terminal here in Hong Kong, and one of the largest and most modern in the world.
I'm looking around and I see state-of-the-art, brand new facility, well equipped. I see well-trained people applying the safety practices as prescribed to ULD handling. And this is what ULD Care is all about. ULD Care is there to promote and raise the awareness of safe handling practices across the ULD logistics chain.
We are ULD Care. We are a membership of airlines and other stakeholders across the ULD logistics chain, and we are committed to assisting IATA in promoting the adoption of the ULD regulations through education and awareness.
Emirates intends to integrate the new ULD regulations into ground handling agreements, and hopefully that will extend to SLAs with our ground handlers and service partners around the world. The first thing we're going to do is to create an online training course within the Emirates Group that will be rolled out internationally to not only our staff working overseas, but also the ground handlers that handle our aircraft. The ULD regulations are extremely comprehensive. They include everything from how to handle a ULD to how to repair it, and much, much more.
ULDs are evolving, becoming more high-tech. They are changing, and so must the way we handle them. For example, highly sophisticated and costly temperature control ULDs for pharmaceuticals. Vital and sensitive cargo depends on a reliable cold chain. So what can you do to support ULD Care and IATA initiatives to create a safer, more effective industry? Get involved. Join the ULD Care membership. Participate in the annual conference. Adopt the IATA ULD regulations. And visit SOS-ULD.com.